Well, I sort of fixed the wall problem. Sort of, anyway. I don't know what it is with this fucking wall here, but anyway, we'll figure it out. Anyway, welcome back to 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse Halloween Extravaganza. And, you know, I was trying to do this, these films, where the hell's this thing? The films that played on 42nd Street on Halloween week or Halloween night or whatever, but unfortunately, the timetable I got starts in 7. Gee, everything fell down again. I can't win with this fucking wall. Anyway, did my computer die? I don't know what it cut off. But, I gotta fix this wall. But anyway, going back to this whole thing. Like I said, the times table I got started in 1978 and it ends in 1988. So the choices really weren't that wonderful because you go to 1978 at the Times Square, they had Halloween and Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde. At the Apollo, they had the Bloodthirsty Butchers, The Rats Are Coming, The Werewolves Are Here, in Torture Dungeon. Now, of course, Halloween was this huge, huge hit, not only on 42nd Street, but worldwide. And it's weird. There's a reason I don't cover these slasher films is because this whole sequel mania thing that happened. I mean, Halloween 2, he was burned to a crisp. That should have been it. Halloween 3 was supposed to be a segue into different stories every Halloween, but the fans shit on it when it happened, but now they embraced the film. So then we had Halloween 4 where he came back to life. Go figure. So, you know, Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde was a blaxploitation take on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, starring the late, great Bernie Casey. The Bloodthirsty Butchers and all that stuff. You know, I can't get into the Milligan shit. I'm not going to make excuses or anything like that, but it's just one of these deals where, you know, you see it once, they're kind of atrocious. A couple of them hold up, others don't. So that's that. Then we go into 1979, and at Times Square they had a perennial favorite, The Hills Have Eyes and I Drink Your Blood. Right across the street at the Liberty, they had Screams of a Winter Night and I Drink Your Blood. At the Anco, they had Aliens and Omen 2. So you see what I'm getting at is you're getting this mainstream stuff shoved in with other things, which, you know, then you go to 1980, you had Motel Hell, which was good. You had Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which was good. At the Liberty, you had Fade to Black, which was good, and Silent Scream, which was so-so. At Cine 42, you had Schizoid, Silent Night, and Bloody Night. In New Amsterdam, you had Terror Train and Magic. It's like, you know, to some people, these films hold up because they, you know, came out at the same time with the video store era. The problem with the tried and true stuff, like, you know, the Corpse Grinders, Texas Chainsaw, all this other stuff, was that they were starting to go to video and the exhibitors didn't want to show them, which was a mistake, I think. The real heart and soul of Halloween in New York was in the Village, because they had the parade. That, I don't know, 10, 20-mile long parade of people in costumes, all kinds of costumes and shit, which was, you know, a huge hit in New York. Plus, the other thing was you had midnight shows. You know, the Rocky Horror Show was fucking huge back then. You know, it was playing at the 8th Street Playhouse in the Waverly, along with other places. At the Elgin, you had Night of the Living Dead and Freaks. Down the road at the Waverly, you would have Basket Case at a midnight show. So there was a lot going on in the city other than 42nd Street and Times Square. I'm sure there was parties and bars and shit like that, but it was something. At that point in time, I wasn't there. I mean, I went to, you know, the Village a couple times. Matter of fact, the last time I saw Cat and Serena was right before I left for Ohio, when we were sitting in a bar in the Village and they were going out to party. And sadly, that was the last time I saw them and the last time I saw the Village, because I went home after that and moved pretty quick after that too. Drive-ins used to have some stuff, you know. I remember they recycled that Ted V. Michaels thing, Spend the Night in the Grave, with 3 movies. So there was a lot going on, but like I said, more or less the 70s were better for this shit, and, you know, the quality of the films that I've talked about just now, and some of them, it's like, are they worth seeing? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I only talk about stuff that I feel was good or took a second look at, and like I said, you know, Friday the 13th should have been a one-offer. Of course, they had to make two, and they stole almost every kill scene verbatim from Mario Bava's Bay of Blood. And then the Friday the 13th 3D they had to have, but it just kept on going on and on and on. It's like, you know, it seemed, the problem with the 80s was that every week there was a new slasher film out, and it was shittier than the previous week, and everything was you know, basically garnished on nasty kills. So you had that. But as for the heart and soul of Halloween, like I said, in New York, it was pretty much the Village. That's where it was. And that's, you know, like I said, my last experience in New York was seeing my girls for the last time. So that's our show for today. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. I'll have a little bit more on this stuff. I'm not going to totally give it up. But I got some really obscure, cool shit we're going to talk about this week. So we'll catch you on the flip side. So until then, stay safe.